What do you guys know about the guard? Can you talk about the guard?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like
There's the Gracie guard, which is a jiu-jitsu move. There's rubber guard. Gracie guard is a pretty basic guard. You know, like 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu guard, like Eddie Bravo's guard, that's a rubber guard. That's with 1 foot over and tucked.
Okay, good.
There's those guards.
Haven's guard.
Let's talk about Haven.
I think that's really like a Lucas Bryant, Nathan Mornos topic. Like, I mean, I think you have some interaction with them, but I feel like Audrey is dealing with throughout the season with her own monsters that even though she's aware of the guard and dealt with them a lot last season, it's kind of something else. Like, she's more focused on the Colorado kid and the hunter.
The writers wanted to introduce what could potentially be almost like the troubled mafia, and that's what the guard is. You didn't hear that one? I didn't come up with that.
I haven't heard
Okay, I did come up with it, but I'm trying to give the writers credit. No, but you know, the idea was to be able to introduce an entity into the show that could, on one hand, be altruistically good, and at the same time, very, very corruptible. So as we move forward in the next, hopefully several seasons, we have something, that is a combatant to us. As we see this team and this family grow, we needed someone to do battle with. We had a great, entity at one point in the Reverend Driscoll, and it was time to introduce the next version of that. And it's one of the most fascinating things about the show, I think, is that although we think the troubled are evil or bad, the truth is most of the troubled are not. They are outcasts, they are minorities, they are, all those symbolisms that is really what it's about. So the guard was sort of the same thing, although they appear to be the authority and appear to be righteous. They may be in some regards, but they also may not be.
And I think we find out a lot this season, a little bit more of the inner workings of the guard, and that it may be a bigger thing than we think. So I think that Audrey finds that fascinating. And that's all I can say about it.
Jesse Ventura has a lot of thoughts about the guard. He's convinced it's a conspiracy. I hope Jesse Ventura doesn't see this.
How do you feel about Duke's sort of gift / curse, this power that he has to
Yeah.
his troubles?
Let me ask Duke. It's been a really fun storyline for me, and
Hello.
hi Anita.
Hello, how are you?
Glad you could finally make it.
Nice to be here as well.
It's fine. We were waiting for like half hour for you.
Well, I had to look pretty,
Anita, would you like a chair?
All right, I will move the chair over. I was just going to kneel.
No, here, hang on. I'm gonna. You got it? Okay. Anita's got it.
Wow, that's so cool.
All right. So, anyways, I think it's I gotta say, I don't know that to be frank, I don't know that I saw how good the writers were at creating this world in its conflicts and its dichotomies. I was like, okay, there's Audrey, and then she likes this cop Nathan, and then there's kind of this, criminal guy Duke, and she kind of likes him, and there's a kind of a thing. And I'm realizing how much more sophisticated it is and how much deeper it goes, and I think part of that, I would like to think has to do with us as actors. Mm-hmm. But I think they've written these really special things that are, as life are, we're always faced with contradictions, and I think Duke is given this, power, curse, gift. I mean, it's sort of, you summed it up right there. It's all these things. So as an actor, it's really fun to play off of all of those things.
The show has a lot of mysteries, largely centered on you, of course, but with everybody, and they unfold at their own pace. Do you guys as actors, do you know where everything is going, or do you sometimes have to go to the writers and say, what's going on? I need to know.
Yeah, we know nothing.
I knew this was going to come.
We know nothing ever. We try to find things out, but I mean, that's kind of one of the beautiful mysteries, if you will, of television. It's sort of this, unfolding Pandora's box. Not just our show, every show, because writers may have a plan, an end game, all this stuff, but how they sort of get there, like life, is changeable and is a variable by the network and by how the audience responds and all of these things. So, I mean, we'd really like to know some information, and sometimes we ask, and sometimes they come and they say, hey, do you want to know this? And we're like, don't tell me. But no, we don't know. And
So polite of you.
that I'm good. I'm a diplomat. And but that actually has been kind of a good thing for the character of Audrey, because she doesn't know. She doesn't have a clue about anything, and anything she does know ends up getting ripped out from underneath her at any given time. So it ends up kind of working out, because I get just as pissed off as she does. I feel like I live in this tiny town, and everybody else knows what's going on, and I'm never told anything. And I'm asking everybody. Here's the mean part, and nobody will say anything.
It's a
and
really
they just
fun
look at
game
each other a
though.
lot.
Because they actually tell me everything.
Exactly. See?
No, I'm kidding. That's not true at all.
I know.
There are two very distinct schools of thought in Havenland. There are those in the camp of the actors shouldn't know anything. We should surprise them every day. And then there are, well, I think pretty much just the actors on the other camp.
That only the actors would be in the other camp.
In the other camp. No, and Sean Pillar, one of our executive producers, Sean Pillar. He does other. We think that we should know everything because it's our job as actors to create
the layers.
The layers and the suspense, and know that if we're starting here and going there, that we can weave ideas in and out and reveal a little bit or hold a little bit back. But that war has not been won or settled yet.
That don't always happen.
That's not how we do it around here, okay? You know what I'm saying?
So we try our best, but
Where did that accent come from?
I don't know.
We were doing Russian earlier.
I know.
Can we do the rest of the interview with the Russian
can.
accent? Okay.
Both those questions bring up a larger thing, which is mythology shows and shows of mythology really seem to have taken off with modern audiences. Why do you think that is?
I honestly think it's because of technology. I mean, to be truthfully honest, we don't really live in a world now where you really have to tune in every single week. And we are very rarely.
But you should.
You should. You should. You
Live.
Totally should, because we're still in
If
a
you have a
ratings.
Nielsen box.
Because we're still in a ratings world where that matters. But I mean, I think by the nature of how television has developed, like it used to be really important to get those single viewers that would like. I know. I'm like, it's like a World War III out there. I know. That's
Awesome.
crazy
That's
setup.
there, so.
Crazy setup. But it's not like you're flipping the channel and you're only going to stay on that one. Like now you can get a season and you're like, oh, I want to watch that whole season. It's like reading the whole book instead of just being like, oh, I think I'm going to like this chapter or this chapter or this chapter. So I think the long form storytelling, I mean, television is in its golden age in that sense, So we're really excited that our show is getting to lean more towards the mythology, but I think people that want, the little individual stories of the week, they get that too.